Hey, Kim, one class. I said I was gonna finish doing the study guide problems, and I was gonna post it, and I'm gonna do that. Apparently, I only have to do numbers 14, 15, 16, and we'll be done, right? So I'm going to do those problems for you, and hopefully it'll help you on your exam on Monday. Okay, so let's go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and screen snip 14. Mark is going to have 500 milliliters in it, so my final volume is 500 milliliters. Of course, you're going to convert that to liters. That's going to be 0.5 liters. And of course, you're going to convert your initial volume to liters too, so it's going to be 0.05 liters. Okay, it's best to go ahead and do that. I mean, just for consistency's sake. You would, well, I'm not going to tell you guys that. But so all you have to do is solve for your final volume. Now, what I like to do is before I actually do the algebra, well, actually I plug in numbers. I like to do the algebra first. I do my algebraic manipulation before I plug in numbers. A lot of times I will do that. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at that. All right. So let me go to my whiteboard. I clear my canvas again. And then I'm going to hit paste. Let's go ahead and enlarge that just a tad bit, shall we? Okay, so like I said before, I'm going to do, since I'm trying to solve for m sub f, or my final molarity, I'm going to go ahead and say m sub I times v sub I is equal to m sub f times v sub f. Now, of course, I know I can divide both sides by v sub f, in which case you end up with this. All right. Now notice I have m sub f by itself in the numerator. So of course, once I multiply my initial molarity times my initial volume and divide by my final volume, I'm going to of course have my final molarity. So it's a simple matter of taking my initial molarity, 0.515 molar, okay, times my initial volume, 0.0500 liters. Divide that by my final volume, which is 0.500 liters. Okay, now you guys see how liters cancel out, and the only thing you're left with is molarity, moles per liter. Okay, so when I take 0.515, multiply that times 0.05, divide that into 0.5 equal parts, I end up with, apparently this is only good to 3 significant digits, so I end up with 0.0515 moles per liter, right? And that would of course correspond to, let's see, B. That would correspond to B, right? So that's the answer there. So yeah, guys, I consider these free points on an exam. All you got to do is plug and chug away, okay? So going back to the last problem. This one is a little bit more involved. They say, what is the concentration of hydroxide ions? Well, actually, it's not. It's fairly simple. Okay? It's a very, very, very simple problem. In fact, I don't even need to use the whiteboard to do this one. The concentration of hydroxide ions in 0.210 molar solution of barium hydroxide. Now, what we have here is, if you look at this barium hydroxide formula unit, notice that there are 2 hydroxides for every barium hydroxide formula unit. 2 hydroxides. Okay, so so it's a 2-to-1 ratio. So I'm going to say 0.210 moles per liter of barium hydroxide times, okay, now notice we have moles in the numerator, so I can use moles times 2 moles of OH minus for every 1 mole of barium hydroxide. Okay, so where did the 2 come from? This 2 came from the fact that I have 2 hydroxides for every barium hydroxide formula unit. Where did the 1 come from? The 1 came from the fact that I have 2 hydroxides for every 1 barium hydroxide formula unit. Okay, so that's that ratio. So all I have to do is multiply 2 times 0.210, and of course, let's see, what do I get? 0.2 times 2 is 4, and 1 times 2 is 2, so it's going to be 0.20 moles per liter of hydroxide. Okay, so yeah, that's it. That's all of the problems, right? Okay. I think there's one problem I didn't do, but a major problem, and I'm not going to do it because the one that I did do is way more is indicative of the problems that I'd have on an exam. This one's kind of simple. I just ask you what the limiting reagent is, and then I ask you the moles of carbon dioxide are produced, and I ask you pretty much the same thing in questions 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So if you can do those, then of course you can do